home plate here at the ballpark for Game 2 of this 3-game series. Let's take a look at the lineups tonight. Brought to you by Grange Insurance. To find a Grange agent, go to GrangeInsurance.com. For the Cleveland Indians of Manny Acta, Trevor Crowe leads off. He'll be in center field. Sin-Soo Choo is in right field batting second, and Carlos Santana is the 3-hitter. He'll do the catching. The cleanup man is Austin Kearns. He's in left. Russell Brandon will play first base, bat fifth, and Johnny Peralta is playing third and hitting out of the 6th hole. 7 hitters, Jason Nix. He'll play second base and make his first start for the Indians as the Reds take the field. Anderson Hernandez bats 8th and plays short. And Justin Masterson, the pitcher, he will bat 9th. For Dusty Baker's Reds, Brandon Phillips leads off at second base. Orlando Cabrera at shortstop, and Joey Votto bats third. He'll play first. Scott Rowland, the cleanup hitter, is at third base. Jay Bruce is in right, and Lance Nix starts in left field, batting 6th. 7 hitters, Drew Stubbs. He'll play center. Ramon Hernandez does the catching and bats 8th, and Sam LeCure the pitching. He will bat 9th. Sam will take his warm-up tosses. He'll make start number 6 tonight. And Jeff Brantley, if anyone has had, I guess, a stretch of bad luck or a stretch of bad opponents that he had to face in terms of the number 1 guy in the other team, it's been this fellow, Sam LeCure.
Well, he has definitely had some opponents on the other side on the pitching mound that have been difficult. That haven't gotten a whole lot of run support. I thought that he threw the ball awfully well in his last ball game and ended up giving up a home run right there at the end that really in effect cost him and the Reds the ball game. But each time out, I think he's gotten better. I think he's learned more each and every time out. And, you know, this is one of those games. I think he realizes it. I think the guys on the field realize it, that he's got a chance to really shut down this Indians ball club and make a statement for himself as far as pitching in the rotation in the big leagues.
Well, Sam works with Ramon Hernandez for tonight's game, the middle game of this 3-game series. And from Sam's standpoint, and I guess really from the Reds' standpoint, this Indians team is down, and you got to put your foot on them and keep them there early, don't you?
Well, that's exactly what you want to do. You saw what happened in last night's ball game. Harang got in a little trouble in the first couple of innings, but he was able to keep the Indians off the board. And by doing that, he gave the Reds time to get their bats ready and get their bats going, and before you know it, they were up 5-0.
Well, the Reds need a win in this game to stay a half game ahead of that St. Louis Cardinal team, which played and won today at Kansas City 5-3. Blake Hawksworth picked up the victory in that game, his 2nd win of the year, and the save went to Ryan Franklin, number 15. Cardinals led 5-0 after 5. KC put a comeback on them, but fall short 5-3, and so the Reds need a win to stay atop the NL Central here tonight. First pitch of the game brought to you by Belterra Casino Resort and Spa. Take a slow ride with Foghat on Saturday, July the 3rd in the Center Stage showroom. For tickets, visit BelterraCasino.com. We're ready to go here. First pitch of the game on the way to Trevor Crowe, switch hitter, batting from the left side. And it's in there for a strike, and this game is underway. Game 2 of the 3-game series. Game 2 of the 6-game homestand. Rowland cheats in at third as Crowe waits for this breaking ball. It drops in for a strike. And boy, this is what you like to see, and this is what we expected to see out of LeCure. First pitch strikes.
He's done it in every ball game he's been in. The big key is the second time through the lineup for Sam LeCure.
Sam Roxon brings it. Crowe swings and pops it up down the left field side. Chased by Rowland, chased by Cabrera, chased by Nix. Nobody can get it, and it's into the crowd. No balls, 2 strikes. Remains the count to Crowe, who's hitting .255 with a homer, 18 runs batted in, 1 for 4 with a walk and a stolen base last night. So he brings a hitting streak of 4 games into this one here tonight.
I think if you look at Sam's starts, all of them really, the first time through the lineup, he has done awfully well.
As you mentioned, really, it's been one batter that has done him in the last 2 times out. He delivers up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That last start, which you were talking about, Cowboy, that 3-run homer by Michael Saunders in the bottom of the 6th inning.
2 outs.
Turned out to be the big blow in that game, a 5-1 victory by Seattle over the Reds. Ball outside, evens the count at 2-2. And if you go back 2 starts, he worked against Zach Greinke in that 7-3 KC win, in which Greinke went the distance. 2 runs given up by Enario De Rosario put his numbers over the top and took away a quality start for him in that game. The 2-2, and it's lined into right by Crow. He hit it right on the screws, but luckily right at Jay Bruce. Crow is gone, and that's a good start to tonight's game. Remember, fans, if you're in your car or truck driving around listening to tonight's game, please remember to buckle up and ask all your passengers to do the same. This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. What's holding you back? Umpires for tonight's game, they rotate around. Paul Nart is the home plate umpire. Ted Barrett at first. Tony Randazzo at second. And Brian Gorman, the crew chief, works down at third. The batter is Sin-Soo Choo, the Indians right fielder. First pitch in on him, a ball, ball one. Choo at 286 with 10 long ones. 37 runs driven across. He takes this one low and outside, 2-0. Here's the only regular that did not have a hit in the game last night, going 0 for 3, although he was on base a pair of times with 3 passes, both coming from Harang, who walked a season-high 5 in that game. And he was quoted today as saying it was so much easier to pitch with that early lead in the game last night. 3-0. Low and outside, ball 4, and Choo draws his 3rd walk of this series.
He walked a couple of times. Actually walked his first 2 times up last night, and starts off tonight the same way. 4 consecutive pitches outside of the strike zone.
Batter will be the catcher, Carlos Santana. Reds are trying to equal their longest winning streak of the season if they can get the job done tonight. They've won 4 in a row. They, on 2 different occasions this year, have won 5 straight. They look to equal that tonight. Look to get to 9 games above the 500 mark, and if they can accomplish all that, would try to equal a season high of 10 over if they could win tomorrow and then sweep the series.
And I think if you look at how the Reds have played during the times where the wins come quite rapidly, the starters during this streak, a 2.39 earned run average over their last 8 games, so they've given the Reds a chance to win just about every night out.
Runner going to pitch a ball. Here's the throw. It is there, but the slide by Choo is a little bit ahead of the tag, and a stolen base for Sin-Soo Choo. He got a good jump, and Hernandez made a heck of a throw.
Throw was right on the money, but when you get a jump like Choo got, you're not going to get them too often.
12th stolen base of the year for Choo, and the 2nd of this series for the Indians, and they now have a runner in scoring position with 1 out, and 5 straight out of the strike zone now by Sam LeCure, the 26-year-old. 1-0 misses outside, ball 2, and that's 6 straight out of the zone. Today's game being brought to you by your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers and the full-size Toyota Tundra. For over 30 Toyota offers or a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Crowd still filing in on this Saturday night. A lot going on in downtown Cincinnati here this evening. The big concert next door, the U.S. Bank Arena. I'm sure one of your favorite musicians, Justin Bieber.
Never heard of him.
Ground ball hard hit, and by the diving Votto down the right field line. That will give the Indians the early advantage. Santana hustles into second. He's in there standing up with a run-producing 2-base hit. Santana had the 2-run homer in the 5th inning last night against Harang, and he gets the RBI double here, giving him 13 runs batted in since being called up from AAA. And for Santana, double number 7. So 13 RBIs to go with the 51 he had down at Columbus, give him 64 now on the season.
It's amazing watching that kid hit. 8 of his 10 hits now in the big leagues have been for extra bases. He knows what he's doing with that bat.
We have yet to see him hit from the right side. You know, he left that game last night with a left thumb contusion, and according to the Cleveland broadcasters, they said it puffed up on him last night, but felt fine today, and he's back in there.
It's amazing what the treatment they have that can do for you today.
So 1-0 Cleveland lead here in the top of the first. The batter of the former Red, Austin Kearns, and the first pitch drops in for a strike.
going back to what we were talking about with the starters, 3-1 during those 8 starts. They produced 5 quality starts during that time. But even the bullpen has thrown the ball well as the starters have.
Those 5 quality starts you mentioned have all been in a row here lately, so they're on a string right now trying to keep that going. 6 in a row. It was the best they've had all year, so they could match that here tonight. Steve Smith, the third base coach of the Indians, helps Santana out at second as he leads away. Kearns at 1-1 takes the ball inside, and he's ahead 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, you can see already that LeCure is having a little difficult time getting the ball to go where he wants it to. He's taking a little extra time as he steps off the mound, trying to get things to go in the right way.
2-1 to Kearns, a breaking ball, low and away. He walked 2 on 4, fell behind Santana, then gave up the leadoff double, or the run-producing double. Now he's fallen behind Kearns, 3-1. The Lexington, Kentucky native digs in at the plate. Branyan waits next. The pitch. Off speed, tip foul off the fencing right in front of Manny Acta, the manager of the Tribe, watching from the third base dugout. Full count now to Kearns. Broke an 0 for 9 with a single in the third last night. He ended up 1 for 5.
Yeah, he hasn't been swinging the bat too well lately.
1 now for his last 13 as he stands in there. He's driven in 32. The 3-2 pitch. Bounce to third. Staying with it, Roland. Looks the runner back. Across the diamond. Chest high to Votto for the second out. Kearns goes out third to first. 2 down. The batter will be Russell Branyan. Fans don't miss the next exciting kids giveaway here at Great American Ballpark. It comes up on Sunday, July the 18th. The first 10,000 kids 14 and younger in attendance will receive a replica batting helmet thanks to Furniture Fair. These helmets look the same as the ones Joey Votto, Brennan Phillips, and every Reds hitter wear to the plate. Get your tickets now to see the Reds and the Rockies at 381 Reds or visit Reds.com/family.
Now is the time where LeCure has got to make pitches to this left-handed batter.
That batter, another former Red, Russell Branyan, in the first pitch off the plate, ball 1.
In his last start, he ended up working to a point where he got 2 outs in the inning. It looked like he was going to get out of it and keep the Reds in the ball game, and he ended up giving up that 3-run home run to Michael Saunders, the number 9 hole hitter.
Branyan takes a big healthy cut and pops this ball up into shallow left. 3 Reds converge, and it's going to be Lance Nix who calls off Roland, and Cabrera makes the catch coming in to retire Branyan and end the top of the first inning. So the Indians settle for 1 after 1 half. 1-0 Tribe on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. First 30,000 fans to see the Reds take on the Indians tomorrow on the 110 game will receive a Reds team baseball card set featuring Brandon Phillips, Joey Votto, Mike Leake, and all the 2010 Reds, courtesy of Cons. Great seats are still available by calling 513-381-REDS or go to Reds.com. 1-0 Tribe. We go to the bottom of the first. Justin Masterson, who's been pitching pretty well, Cowboy, goes to the hill.
Really has. April and May for Masterson, not so hot. The month of June, he's gotten it together.
Phillips in the leadoff spot for the second straight game, fourth time this year, as he likes to do. Shows bunt, pulls back, takes strike one.
Last 4 starts for Masterson, 2-1 with a 2.93.
That accounts for all of his wins. He's 2-6 on the year. Slow tapper to short, charging that ball and trying the bare hand pickup was Anderson Hernandez. He doesn't get it done, and Phillips legs it out for a base hit. Brandon's now hit in 5 in a row in 23 of his last 26, and he's on to start the bottom of the first.
It was an awfully funny looking play. It looked as though Masterson could have caught the ball and didn't go for it. All right, Reds fans, if a Reds player hits the Toyota Tundra sign in right center field during tonight's game, Andrew Olds, O-L-D-S, from Mainville, Ohio, will win the Tundra on display at Great American Ballpark. Register for your chance to win at an upcoming game by seeing one of your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers.
Here's a chopper toward the hole. Moving to his right to get the ball is Hernandez, and he'll throw to Jason Nix, who's playing second base and covering there to get the force out on Phillips. Cabrera was having the defense shift up the middle against him, and he almost snuck that into the hole.
That's one of those plays, if you don't have a runner at first base, you've got yourself a base hit. But because of the short throw to second and a runner being forced there, you get out.
Here's Joey Votto trying to extend that on-base streak, which right now sits at 33 consecutive games. Left-handed hitter against the right-hander Masterson. First pitch is low for ball one. Joey was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts last night, but kept the streak alive by walking twice. Longest streak in Major League Baseball this year, 33 in a row, which he's reached. Lifts a fly ball to left, slicing into the corner. Chasing that ball is Kearns on the run, on the track. He reached down and made a backhanded catch of that ball, and then fires it back into Hernandez, who fires it over to first, but luckily Phillips gets back in time. That's a tremendous catch by Kearns on the run, looking up into the sun and left.
Number one, I don't know how he got a break on that ball to be able to catch it in the sun right off the bat. He makes a move to the left field corner and catches it right at his shoe tops, almost stepped on his glove, still able to make the catch and get a good throw back in.
That thing was slicing away from him. Couldn't be much of a tougher play than that. He made it look easy. Phillips aboard with 2 men out. The batter rolling. The Reds' third baseman takes ball one. Sitting at 303 on the year with 16 homers, 48 batted in. And he had a solo shot last night in the 5th inning, the 299th career home run for the Jasper, Indiana native. Swings and misses at that one, doesn't get it. A ball and a strike. 1 for 3 with a pair of RBIs last night. Here's the pitch. On the inside corner, a strike, and it's 1-2. Tribe have the aforementioned Kearns in left, Trevor Crow in center, Sin-Soo Choo in right. Johnny Peralta's at third, Anderson Hernandez at short, Jason Nix at second, Russell Brandon at first. Carlos Santana catching the offerings of Justin Masterson for the Tribe tonight. Runner goes, 1-2 pitch, line toward the right center field. That's going to get down. Over to his left to get it is Crow. Grinding third, and here comes Phillips toward the plate. Here comes the throw. It's going to be close. He is safe as the runner got in there ahead of the throw. Cabrera slid in. Here comes the manager, Manny Acta, out to argue. Spreads those hands across and says, what does he have to do to get the out call?
I don't think that Cabrera thought he was going to score. It looked as though he had held up as he rounded second base, it didn't look like he was going full speed, and Mark Berry was waving him all the way, and boy, he had to kick it into a different gear, scoring from first base. The throw beat him to the plate, but Santana didn't get the tag down.
Yeah, it looked like Cabrera got the foot in as the tag was about waist high.
That's a young catcher for you, and a good tandem relay by the Indians to get the throw in. But if you're the catcher and you're Santana, you have got to block the plate, and he was nowhere near blocking the plate. He extended the glove instead of the knee.
Crow got the ball into Jason Nix, who fired it to Santana. The replay showed that the throw may have been even higher than the waist, maybe up in his stomach. And the Reds counter the Indians' run with one of their own here in the bottom of the first, tying this game at 1 on the throw home.
That's like catching a ball at second base from the catcher and reaching out to tag the stealing base runner on the helmet.
You don't get that call either.
No, you don't. The foot beats you to the bag, and it's the foot beat the ball to the plate.
Roland hustled down to second on the throw home, so now a hit by Jay Bruce could give the Reds the first inning advantage. He's ahead on the count, 2-0. Now swings and rolls one to the right side with the shift on, fielded by Jason Nix on the first to retire Bruce and end the first inning. But the Reds get a run, and after 1, we're tied at 1 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Reds on Radio and CincinnatiUSA.com. Welcome Reds on Radio affiliate WVHU AM 800 from Huntington, West Virginia for tonight's game. CincinnatiUSA.com invites you to come for the Reds and stay for even more fun. Your trip begins at CincinnatiUSA.com. 1-1 into the second. Sam LeCure back to work. He'll face Johnny Peralta, the third baseman of the Indians. He's their former shortstop, and he's the all-time home run king in Indians history, 4 shortstops. Fouls this ball away, and he's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Last night in the game, he was 1 out of 3. A home run in the 6th was number 5 for him. Starts the game at 259. 5 homers, 34 RBIs. Here's the 0-2. Moves him off the plate of ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cardinals won today at Kansas City 5-3. So as we play this game now, the 2 teams are even at 41 and 33 each. A victory by the Reds would once again give them a half game advantage. A loss tonight, a half game behind that St. Louis club. Here's the 2-2 to Peralta. Tip foul at the plate.
It's amazing that LeCure can throw that breaking ball and have that much bite to it, but yet the speed is only about 72, 73 miles an hour, but the ball is straight until it gets right to home plate, and then it just goes straight down.
Here's the 2-2, and it's lifted foul. How does he manage that?
It's got to be the way that he's holding the baseball and getting his fingers on top. And to be able to make the ball have that many revolutions in order to get the ball to go down, you've got to make it spin quickly. You've got to have some awfully strong hands and some strong forearms.
He's ready to work at 2-2 to Peralta. That one misses just low. This has been Sam tonight thus far, getting ahead and then not being able to get to put him away early. Full count pitch to the Indians' third baseman is outside for ball 4. So he walks the leadoff man here in the second. The batter will be Jason Nix. Yesterday in the game, things got so exciting late, the 10-3 Reds win, that we forgot to go back and answer our Cincinnati Bell trivia question, which yesterday was against which team did Indians pitcher Len Barker hurl a perfect game on May 15th, 1981? Was it A, the White Sox, B, the Blue Jays, or C, the Mariners? Do you remember what you said, Cowboy?
Yeah, I remember saying the wrong answer. I said White Sox, and I should have said Blue Jays.
You said A, the White Sox, and the answer is B, the Blue Jays. Barker retired all 27 Blue Jays he faced in a 3-0 perfect game at Cleveland Stadium on May 15th, 1981. It was the second perfect game in Indians history, first having been thrown by Hall of Famer Addie Jose against the White Sox on October the 2nd, 1908.
Nothing like starting off the homestand with a wrong answer.
Well, that's true. There's a strike called. But the good news is,
yeah, that's real good news that I've got another chance to get
bottom of this inning, you have another opportunity.
Hammered again.
Break that losing streak.
I need to be asking you. They tell me when I go to TV, you get them all right.
Well, I don't think that they give me the, quote, trick questions. They save those for you.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch. Hard hit into left. Here comes Nix, and Lance gets there. Makes the catch for the out. One brother retiring another. Jason Nix ripped that ball to left. Lance came charging in and caught it. Talked to him before the game. He said this is the first time in their major league careers that they have started in the same game against one another. They did it in the minor leagues before, but never in the big leagues. Boy, he scalded that ball.
Jason took a short little look out to his big brother as he was coming back across home plate.
And they'll talk about that one later tonight, won't they?
Don't be afraid to get a break on it or say it got in the sun.
Now an opportunity for an inning-ending double play if the Reds can get a hard-hit ground ball. Anderson Hernandez, a switch-hitting shortstop tonight. He played second base last night, is up there.
He's played shortstop, second base, even started a game in left field.
Cure with a look at first. Now the pitch. And he drops the breaking ball into Anderson for a strike. Strike one. Dozen games with the Indians. Hernandez hitting .273. Much better from this side of the plate, hitting .350 batting left-handed, only .150 batting from the right side. And on the grass at third is Roland. 0-1 pitch is high, a ball, one strike. Anderson Hernandez claimed off waivers from the Mets in the middle of spring training, the 17th of March. Sent to Columbus, where in 47 games there, hit .234. He's hitting much better up here. The 1-1. Bounce toward the shortstop. Picked by Cabrera to second, out to first, not in time. Phillips barehanded that flip from Cabrera. Got the force out at second on Peralta. That ball not quite hit hard enough to get Anderson Hernandez, who can run pretty well.
Well, you can see Cabrera and Phillips talking to each other. Cabrera was close enough that he could have taken it himself and tagged the bag, but yet it would have taken him two or three steps to get there. If he flips it, he's probably not going to get him anyway because of Anderson Hernandez's speed and the fact that the ball wasn't hit hard enough.
And now it's a pitcher-pitcher matchup. Justin Masterson stands in there, 6'6" right-hander, bats like he throws against LeCure. First pitch a ball. Masterson nothing out of 2 at the plate this season. And there's a ball hit hard up the middle. That's a base hit. The first hit by the Indians pitchers this year. A single into center. He took a hack at that like he goes up there and swings every day.
Got to be feeling pretty good about yourself right now. Get a hit like that and turn the batting back over for Trevor Crowe, because Crowe's hitting .375 with runners in scoring position, and that ain't too bad.
That's exactly what he inherits here. First and second, 2 out, 1-1 game in the top of the second. The series wraps up here tomorrow with a 1-10 game. Bronson Arroyo against Mitch Talbot, pair of right-handers. Crowe starts off with a breaking ball from LeCure, and it's in there for a strike. Strike one.
Be a good ball game tomorrow. Arroyo's thrown the ball well, and so has Talbot.
Question is, will the Reds be going for the sweep or the series victory? They took 2 out of 3 over in Cleveland. They had an opportunity to go for the sweep there. Couldn't win that final game. Ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Crowe. Hit the ball right on the nose, but right at the right fielder Bruce's first time.
Well, the stats, as we were talking about earlier, from a pitching standpoint, if you keep this Reds club in the game, more times than not, they're going to score you enough runs to win.
Cabrera jostling out there at second with Hernandez. Here's the pitch to Crowe, and it's popped up. Near third, Roland comes in. He handles it to retire the side. A walk, a hit, 2 men left in the middle of the second. It's the Reds and the Indians deadlocked at 1 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Winning.
Belatedly for station identification on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Along with the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley, Jim Kelch from Great American Ballpark. Reds and the Indians tonight. Game 2 of this series and the 5th of 6 meetings between these two clubs this year. Reds have won 3 of 4, thus having clinched the Ohio Cup for another year. It'll stay right here in the Queen City. Reds won 5 of 6 2 years ago, 4 of 6 last year. Cannot lose this series this year, thus the Cup will stay here at Cincinnati's Great American Ballpark.
What Nix has hit awfully well in this series against the Indians. 6 for 10 with a couple of dingers.
Big series over there in Cleveland. He tapped one to the right side. Off the mound to get it is Masterson. He'll take it himself. Step on the base. Nix is gone. 1 out. The batter is Drew Stubbs. Time for our Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the night. Text your answer of A, B, or C to 66128 for your chance to win a pair of Reds tickets, a $25 Skyline Chili gift card, and a free haircut from Great Clip, brought to you by Cincinnati Bell's 3G network. Talk, text, and surf on the fastest network around. You ready?
Sure.
Game 5 of the 1920 World Series. Game 5 of the 1920 World Series. Indians second baseman Bill Wambsgans turned the first and to date only unassisted triple play in series history. What other notable World Series first also took place in that game?
You gotta be kidding me.
This is straight out of
1920. What was the guy's name? Wambsgans?
Wambsgans. He was the Tribe's second baseman at the time. There's a ball flared out into right and caught by Jason Nix. He stayed with it, made the catch, 2 out. And what other notable World Series first took place in that game? Was it a player hit 4 triples in a game, a pitcher recorded 15 strikeouts, or a player hit a grand slam?
And this is a first in a World Series game?
It's a notable World Series first that took place in that game, as well as the first unassisted and only unassisted triple play in World Series history.
What was the first? What was A?
A player hits 4 triples in a game.
I'm saying B.
You're saying B. A pitcher records 15 strikeouts. That would seem to make the most sense.
It would, but it'll be wrong. Watch.
No, we know this for sure. We'll get back to it later on. 15 in a game. That was B.
If I could get this right, that would be big going into tomorrow.
It would be. You could win the series also.
Yeah, I can have a chance for a big homestand. Come back from that debacle yesterday.
That one goes right into the category of trick questions, doesn't it? I mean, really.
They're all trick questions when it comes to me.
Not all of them.
Yeah, they are. I'm telling you.
You're paranoid.
I have to answer them. Killing me over here.
2 out, nobody on. 1-1 game, bottom of the second. Ramon Hernandez, 1 out of 2. Bats with the bases empty. Masterson pitches. Hernandez slices this ball down the right field line and out of play. Catching for the second game in a row. He was 1 for 4. An infield single in the 5th inning last night. Hitting .287. Sam LeCure waits on deck. 1-2 is way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It would figure that with the day game following the night game, that'll be Corky Miller catching Bronson Arroyo tomorrow, wouldn't you guess?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
2-2 is just high and a full count to the Reds catcher.
I think Corky has caught Bronson every time except once.
You're right. Since he's been up here taking the place of Hannigan, who, by the way, went 0 for 5 as the DH last night for Louisville down in Norfolk and is scheduled to start his first game behind the plate tonight.
Is he catching Volquez tonight?
Tuesday Volquez.
Tuesday Volquez. If he can get back catching 198, he'll be all right.
3-2 pitch, fouled out of play. We'll see how he does behind the plate tonight. By the way, the outfielder whom the Reds just signed, Gary Matthews Jr., activated today by the Louisville team. To make room on their roster, they released the Louisville native Chris Burke, who'd been playing center field pretty much every day.
Yeah, he just hit a home run last night.
Now looking for a job.
That's the way it goes. What have you done for me lately?
3-2 pitch. Again, fouled out of play on the first base side. Center fielder Trevor Crowe now swung around, playing Hernandez to go toward right center.
Well, normally, as the count favors the pitcher, the outfielders will move the opposite field.
3-2, strike three call. Over the outer edge, Masterson gets his first strikeout and his first 1-2-3 inning of this game. The Cowboy, Jeff Brantley, will be along when we come back in the third. Through 2, 1-1 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Sam LeCure heads back out for his third inning of work. He will be facing the middle of this Indians order. Shin-Soo Choo, who he walked first time up. Choo stole second base and came around to score on the double by Carlos Santana. 1-1. Cleveland won in the first, in the top of the first, and the Reds came back with a run of their own in the bottom of the first inning. And that's where we stand. The Reds and Kroger are offering fans a great value at the ballpark this season. Check concession stands throughout the ballpark for the Kroger meal deal, which includes a full-size hot dog, a 16-ounce Coke, a bag of Mike Sells chips, and during this home stand, a Slim Jim meat stick, all for just $7. Kroger and Slim Jim are proud to make it easier for fans to enjoy rooting on the Reds. Ask for the Kroger meal deal during your next trip to the ballpark. Slim Jim. I'll take that. First pitch is a breaking ball off the outside corner, ball one. Right-hander Sam LeCure. Shin-Soo Choo walked and scored. Fastball down and away. 2 balls and no strikes to the left-handed hitting right fielder for the Indians. He walked his first 2 times against Harang last night. And he appears to be headed that way here in this ball game tonight. Here's the 2-0. And it's just a bit inside. 3 balls and no strikes to Shin-Soo Choo. 10 home runs on the year, 286 coming into the ball game. 37 RBIs, but only hitting 234 on the road. Go figure. 3-0 pitch, and he walked him. Second time tonight. A leadoff walk this go round for Choo. And he'll head down to first base. The third walk in the ball game for the right-hander LeCure. Walked one in the first, one in the second, and now here to lead off the third.
Got to be exasperating for Dusty Baker and Brian Price to watch him walk these batters when he did not do that in the minor leagues at AAA.
No, he didn't, and it just looks like he's trying to be a little bit too, I don't want to say picky, but it just looks like he's just trying to be too close to the outside part of the plate or the inside part. Throw it up there and make him swing it. Breaking ball in there for a strike to Carlos Santana. Young switch hitting catcher. 8 of his 10 hits have been for extra bases, and we've seen a couple of them. Home run in last night's ball game and a double here tonight. Hits from the left side here against LeCure. The pitch. Swing and a fly ball into right field. Bruce heading towards the right field line. He's going to have a play. He'll make the catch. One down. Well, that's one of those balls that you just don't know. When it goes into the air, you think, well, he's going to catch it, and he continues to drift. And you think, that may get out of here.
Santana just missed getting all of that ball, too, didn't he?
And it was up. That ball was up in his eyes, and he still hit it on the nose. Here's Austin Kearns, grounded out to Rowland his first time up. And you've got to believe that somewhere along this at bat, Chu will be headed to second base, or at least attempt it. And LeCure, thinking along the same lines, picks over to first base. Chu stole a base, and his first time on, he did not steal last night. He's got a lead over there at first base with Kearns at the plate. Breaking ball, pulled foul off somebody's glove down there in the front row. Well, if you got a glove, you don't duck. You got to catch it. Hopefully that didn't hit somebody. It's a little baby next to the lady that got hit with the baseball. That's close down there.
Well, then definitely you have the glove. You've got to stay
catch it. No balls and a strike to Kearns. Another pick to first by LeCure. Back in there safely is Shin-Soo Choo. LeCure with a long look in to Ramon Hernandez. Chu takes his lead over there at first base. Right-hander rocks and deals. Fastball just misses inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pace of the game has slowed down dramatically, with LeCure having a tough time finding the strike zone. 1 ball and 1 strike to Austin Kearns. What a heck of a play he made early in the ball game out in left field. A shoestring catch off of Joey Votto's bat. They pitch out, and Chu not going, and that'll run the count to 2 balls and a strike. Chu, as soon as he saw the catcher Hernandez step out from behind home plate, he was heading back to first base in a hurry. 2 balls and a strike. LeCure the pitch, and he misses again. 3 balls and a strike to Austin Kearns. Same count that he had Kearns in back in his first at bat, and he came back to get him out on a ground ball to Rowland at third base. Only so many times you can go to the well on a 3-1 count. Right-hander LeCure checks the runner Chu. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside corner, strike 2. 3-1 fastball, middle end to Kearns, and he takes it for a strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. 1 out in the inning. Chu takes his lead at first. Looks like he's going here, and he is. And this ball is lifted into right field. Here comes Bruce. Won't get it. It's 1 bounce to Bruce, and down to second base is Chu. On at first base is Austin Kearns with a single into right field. And the Indians are in business with runners at first and second base. And here's Russell Branyan. Kern's got a fastball inside, and he just fisted it the other way. Bruce had no play at all, and Chu was really caught in between, not knowing whether to take off and risk a play by Bruce or hold up. Runners at first and second, and there goes Chu. Quick throw to Roland at third. He's going to run Chu back, and now Cabrera's running him all the way to third, and now Hernandez will tag out Chu. How about that? A 1-5-6-2. 1-5-6-2 for you scoring at home. Boy, how about Hernandez hustling down to third base on the pickoff play, and he's got to be worn out.
Yeah, he sprinted 90 feet from the plate to third, so you can't blame him for walking a little bit now, trying to catch his breath to get behind the dish again. Luckily, LeCure picked that up.
And the thing about it is, LeCure stepped off. Had he just turned and threw the ball to Roland at third base, a balk would have been called, and they would have awarded both runners a base. A foul ball off to the left side. You have to throw to where the base runner occupies the bag. And that time LeCure stepped off, threw the ball to Roland at third, and then the rundown commenced, and they got Shin-Soo Choo. I don't know what Chu was thinking about there. 2 down now. The 0-1 fastball just off the plate away.
Well, we have seen LeCure in some of his other starts not necessarily hold the runners on overly well, and maybe Chu didn't think that he had given him a sufficient look.
Evidently. 1-1 pitch to Branyan. It's a fastball upstairs. Branyan takes that pitch. Branyan has been swinging the bat well here in the first part of June. 288 in the month with 4 home runs. And running a 6-game hitting streak coming into this ball game. Open stance. Here's the 2-1. A breaking ball right down Broadway. Strike 2. Kern's not really a threat to steal at first base. He will run. He's got 4 stolen bases. But I would imagine with 2 outs, they'll take a chance on letting Branyan swing the bat. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball away. And the count full again. Approaching the 60 pitch mark is Sam LeCure, and he has not gotten the 3rd out here in the 3rd inning. That's an average of 20 pitches an inning, and that won't get you too far. 58th pitch coming up here from LeCure, the 3-2. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Strikes out Branyan on the slow breaking ball. So the Indians put a couple of runners aboard and can't do anything with it. 1 apiece, Reds Indians, as we head to the bottom of 3 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Radio Network. Right-hander Justin Masterson for the Indians will face the pitcher LeCure, and then back to the top of the Reds order. First pitch fastball up and away to the right-handed hitting LeCure. An awfully warm and muggy night here at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. A fastball over the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sam LeCure. Swings and pops this one up shallow behind the second baseman, and Nix gets there in a hurry. That is twice now he has hustled back behind the second base area and made that play. Makes it look awfully easy. 1 down. Here's Brandon Phillips, and back to the Reds. Top of the order. Normally a second baseman has a difficult time getting back there on a ball like that, but Nix has made that play now twice. Made it without even any trouble at all. Masterson to face Phillips. A breaking ball off the plate away. 1 ball and no strikes.
It's his relay throw that came home also that the call went the way of the Reds, but he's been in the middle of the action already in this game.
Swing and a miss. Another breaking ball down and away from Phillips. That one a cut fastball. Right-hander Phillips swings right over the top of it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's Masterson swinging a foul ball down the far end of the third base dugout, and Phillips down in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Masterson with that low 3/4 delivery. The low 90s so far tonight. The pitch hit off the end of the bat and foul down the right field line into the seats, and Phillips hanging in there. Just did get a piece of that breaking ball. Riverboats on the river. And fans in the seats here at Great American Ballpark. Here's the 1-2, grounded to the right side. Nix is over to get it, straightens up, throws on to Brenyan, 2 down.
We're seeing the Justin Masterson Cowboy that you talked about in the early part of the broadcast, one that really has settled in out of this game.
Well, he's throwing a lot of strikes, and he is staying in the bottom of the strike zone, both with the breaking ball and the sinking fastball, and he's using the inside part of the plate well. You've got a sinker like Masterson does as he throws that one over for strike 1, and you can run it in on the right-handers and still have that sharp breaking ball away. You can do some damage. Swing and a miss on a good sinking fastball down and in to the right-handed swinging Cabrera. You don't see Cabrera swing and miss a whole lot, especially on a ball inside. Here's the 0-2. Oh, just missed off the outside corner. Wow. I would have wanted that one. I'd have been headed to the dugout. 1-2 pitch. And he got him. Swing and a miss on a changeup down and away, and Cabrera is out. 3 up, 3 down for the right-hander Masterson. He's starting to make it look easy. 1 apiece, Reds and the Indians, as we head to 4 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. LeCure on the mound. Right-hander Johnny Peralta swings at a first pitch breaking ball, and he's down in the count. No balls and 1 strike. All the scoring thus far done in the first inning. 1 for the Reds, 1 for the Indians. LeCure the pitch. Off the hands, over the shortstop's head, into left field, and that's going to be a base hit for Johnny Peralta. No chance for the right-handed shortstop to get to that baseball. He started back and started to jump, and no chance. So base hit for Peralta. He's aboard, and here's Jason Nix.
Cowboy, I meant to ask you earlier, did you celebrate sufficiently last night after the Reds' 10-3 win, I presume with ice cream?
No ice cream.
No ice cream last night.
No, I went and ordered from La Rosa's on my way home, and they had it there. Oh, there's a base hit down the left field line by Jason Nix. Rounding second, heading for third, and Peralta into third base. Into second is Jason Nix with a double, as his brother Lance Nix gets it back in, and the Indians now have runners at second and third base with nobody out.
Sam has not had an easy or a 1-2-3 inning yet in this game.
It has been tough going for the young right-hander here tonight. Nope, I ordered La Rosa's on my way home. Matter of fact, probably while everyone else was watching fireworks. I got to the house, and within moments, knock at the door. Thank you very much.
What'd you get on that bad boy?
You name it, I ate it. Anderson Hernandez, as Ramon Hernandez almost threw back down to third base to catch Peralta off the bag. 1 ball and no strikes.
When they ask you what you want on it, you say everything you've got.
All the meats.
All the meats.
And then extra cheese. How's that? I want the
your arteries are loving you, baby.
Heart attack special. Foul ball to the left side on a fastball up and in. And Sam LeCure has got his work cut out for him here.
You have to order a separate one for your lovely wife? She ate that thing too.
She ate but 1 piece.
1 piece. You don't let her have any more than one,
no,
do you?
I offered it up.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah. Breaking ball hangs outside. 2 balls and a strike to the 8-hole hitter Hernandez.
I can only assume you washed it all down with an ice cold Coca-Cola?
No doubt about it. If I'm drinking it, it's going to be a Coke. 2 balls and a strike. Runners at second and third. Pitch to Hernandez. Popped up into short left field. Here comes Nix in a hurry. He won't get it, and it bounces into the stands. A ground rule double. How about that? Boy, the ball is not bouncing the Reds' way here early. And 2 runs will score. A ground rule double as that ball hit just inside the foul line and bounced directly into the seats just beyond where the bat boy sits down the left field line. That's going to be a double. 2 RBIs for Anderson Hernandez, and the Cleveland Indians have now taken a 3-1 lead.
What do you think that went? About 190, maybe 200 feet? You don't see that very often.
No, just beyond where the grass stops and the dirt starts. Masterson squares around to bunt. He takes it for a strike, and Hernandez throws down to second, trying to get the batter runner Hernandez. So Masterson will try to bunt to third base, try to bring Rolen in, and advance Hernandez to third. Pitch, and he misses that one, and quickly down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. So he saw earlier where Masterson with a single up the middle back in the second inning. But when called upon to bunt here, he's having a tough time. Here's the pitch, and he swings and misses, and Masterson has struck out. 1 down. And Anderson Hernandez will stay right where he's at, and that's at second base. And back to the top of the order for the Indians. It'll be Trevor Crowe. He's 0 for 2 tonight, but he has hit the ball pretty well that first time up as he lined out to Jay Bruce to start the ball game. Indians have put 2 on the board. They've got a runner at second base and Hernandez. LeCure checks pitches. Changeup off the plate away. 1 ball and no strikes. LeCure has been basically behind in the count from the get-go. Reds offense will be put to the test, it looks like, tonight. Here's the 1-0. A curveball misses way up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. And looking at the body language of LeCure, it does not look good, and I think Brian Price sees the same thing that I do, and he is headed to the mound.
Yeah, Sam really snapped at that ball coming back, kind of dropped his shoulders and head, didn't he?
Well, this is part of learning up here in this kind of atmosphere, pitching in the big leagues on a very, very muggy day. It's awfully hot as Micah Owings begins to throw down in the Reds bullpen. It's got to be draining out there. It's probably tough to breathe. It's tough to get a grip on the baseball, and now with things not going your way, it becomes, all of those things become multiplied with the fact that you're down now by 2 runs after giving up a 190-foot ground rule double that bounced into the seats and scored 2. This is where you've got to be mentally tough, and you've got to come back and get a couple outs and keep your team in the ball game. Changeup down low to Trevor Crowe. 3 balls and no strikes. And waiting on deck is Shin-Soo Choo. Crowe stands in, the center fielder for the Indians. Here's the pitch from LeCure. A fastball right down Broadway. Strike 1. LeCure has got his work cut out for him. He's got to come all the way back here with Trevor Crowe at the plate and in charge. A 3-ball, 1-strike count. Right-hander kicks and deals. Fastball, swing and a miss. Got that one down and away, and it looked like Crowe just did get a piece of it into the mitt of Ramon Hernandez, and now the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-two count. Hernandez with a lead at second. The pitch. Fastball just misses inside, and down to first base goes Trevor Crowe. Another walk for the right-hander, Sam LeCure.
His rope is running out, isn't it?
First walk in this inning, but he has walked 4 in the ball game, 1 in each inning, and it looks as though Dusty Baker has sent Ramon Hernandez out to talk to LeCure and basically kill some time for the right-hander Micah Owings to get ready. And Dusty Baker is going to head to the mound. And that's going to be all she wrote for the right-hander Sam LeCure. He'll leave with runners at first and second base. And we'll have a new pitcher for the Reds. We'll tell you who it is and all about it when we come back here on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. inning in last night's ball game, and it was the first time that he has thrown in a game in, I believe, 7 days in last night's game.
Try 10, buddy.
10 days. So he got some work in last night's game, threw the ball just fine, and it actually works out perfect for today, because you never know when you're going to be needed. And Dusty got him in the ball game last night. Now Owings with a little work under his belt will go to work, and they need him right here and right now. It is 3-1 Indians. Runners at first and second base. Crow at first, Hernandez at second, and Shin-Soo Choo at the plate. First pitch off the plate away. A fastball misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
Unfortunate for LeCure tonight, but he never really did get a grip on this game, did he?
Did not. He had a tough time getting it started. Owings out of the stretch. He kicks and deals. Fastball fouled straight back by Choo. 87-mile-an-hour heater. The Reds have turned an awful lot of double plays, and boy, you'd love to see one here, but Choo is quick getting out of the box from the left side, so if he does hit into a double play, it will have to be one that is hit pretty hard. Left-handed hitter Owings checks Hernandez at second. Here's the pitch. A breaking ball misses inside. 2 balls and a strike to Shin-Soo Choo. Choo has 37 RBIs and looking for more. The pitch is a changeup, and he got that one in there for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now for Micah Owings, and he had Choo fooled badly. He looked like he was coming out of his shoes right there, and he stopped. See the changeup and hold up in a hurry. That changes things for Owings here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. Fastball on the ground to Phillips. Phillips to Cabrera. On to first. They got it. 4-6-3. How do you like that? The Reds turn it over. Micah Owings gets the job done. But the Indians do put 2 more on the board. They lead 3-1 as we head to the bottom of 4 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. used at the ballpark. Learn more and save up to $4 at Reds.com/lawn. Scott's, it's the official lawn care company of the Cincinnati Reds. First pitch is a breaking ball to Votto inside, and he tries to check his swing and cannot. No balls and 1 strike from Masterson. He hits this one on the ground right to Branyan. Branyan will flip it on to Masterson at first base, 1 down. Votto hit it hard, but he hit it right to Branyan at first base. That'll bring Scott Rowland and his 299 home runs to the plate. Rowland has had an awfully good start here to 2010. He has hit above the 300 mark virtually the whole year. He's got 16 home runs and 48 RBIs. Takes the first pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
You know, when you thought in the offseason about what Rowland could do for this club this year, he has even exceeded that, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that playing on the natural surface has even surprised him as to how much better he feels on that bottom half. 3 balls and no strikes from Masterson. Rowland actually has 49 RBIs. He had the run batted in tonight. Fastball outside corner. That's a strike.
He's on pace for a 100-pluser.
3 balls and a strike to Scott Rowland. The right-hander kicks and deals. Foul ball at home plate. Full count to Rowland as Masterson tries to keep things going. He has retired 8 consecutive batters after giving up a run back in the first. Right-hander kicks and deals, and that's ball 4. Misses outside, and a 1-out base runner is Scott Rowland, and here's Jay Bruce. Bruce has been awfully hot lately. A 5-game hitting streak and a 3-game hitting streak of multi-hit games. So he has been on base a whole lot, and often lately he takes a fastball right down Broadway. Strike 1. Jay grounded out to the second baseman Jason Nix, his first time up. 0-1, swing and a miss on the changeup. Got him way out in front of that one. Masterson working quickly. He's in the stretch. He comes set at the belt. Here's the 0-2. Fouled off at home plate. That one got off the front foot of Jay. Bruce fouls that one right off his shoe top. And now they move the infielders all the way around to the right side. Second baseman playing where the first baseman normally plays. The shortstop Hernandez playing at the second base spot, and the third baseman playing at the shortstop spot. Breaking ball inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Bruce. They give Jay Bruce the whole left side of the infield to hit the ball through here. 1-2 pitch with 1 out. And he hits it high in the air into left field. Kearns over under it, and he got it. 2 down.
He tried to go that way. Remember, he burned him last night with a base hit down the left field line on that big shift.
I don't think there's any doubt that Jay can go to that part of the field. It's just a matter of what pitch they give him to try to go that way. That was a sinking fastball inside, and he got up underneath it. 2 down in the inning. Here's Lance Nix. Nix grounded out to Masterson. His first time up. Hits this one on the ground. Foul down the right field line. Rowland standing at first base. Branyan holding him on. Masterson comes to the set at the bat. Checks the runner. Pitches. Ground ball right to Branyan. He'll tag first, and that's it. So a walk is the only base runner that the Reds get here in the 4th. Indians 3, Reds 1 as we head to 5 and we head back to Jim Kelch on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Evening filled with events to celebrate the Reds' 1990 championship team on Friday, July the 16th. Don't miss pre- and post-game performances from MC Hammer and the spectacular post-game fireworks show presented by Klosterman Baking Company. For tickets, call 513-381-REDS or go to Reds.com. This game moves into inning number 5. The Indians lead by a score of 3-1, and we say a special hello to Kathy Burke, the executive director of the Ohio Lottery. The Ohio Lottery, of course, the sponsor of the Ohio Cup, which will be awarded here tomorrow after the game, as well as the most outstanding player award for this big interstate series between the Indians and the Reds. Hello, Kathy. How are you?
Great. I'm doing great, Jim, and pleased to meet both you and the cowboy over here. I understand his other title is Fireman of the Year. Was that one you had one time?
That's right. That's been a while back. He wears many hats.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the 3rd year we've been sponsoring the Ohio Lottery, and it's a perfect event for Ohio and for the Ohio Lottery because we've got both teams, both Ohio teams. Whoever wins, Ohio wins. And actually the Reds are pretty safe this year because if this series ties up, which right now it's got to be a tie, the Reds keep the cup because we had it last year, and that's the rule.
Yeah, this will be 3 years in a row. It will stay here based on the 10-3 win last night, so we're all ecstatic about that. As on an 0-2 pitch, Carlos Santana swings through a fastball from Owings and strikes out for out number 1. Kathy, this is new for you, though, this director's job. How are you liking it?
This is a new gig. I love it. I get to meet people like you. I get to meet fans. Earlier this evening, I met a student who's just an outstanding student from Xenia, Ohio.
Oh, wow.
And he's a 12th grader, but class valedictorian, an athlete, heading off to college on a full ride. So what better way to celebrate our partnership with education, and the things that we like to do is highlight people who are doing great stuff like that. So it was really a great evening for me, and really pleased to be here. We, as you know, support education. We gave $702.3 million last year to Ohio schools.
$702.3 million.
It sounds like a lot of money, but it takes a lot. If you can imagine, K through 12 education, it's a big expense in the state of Ohio. We help. We do as much as we can. From the beginning of the lottery, we've contributed $17 billion to education in the state of Ohio.
You did say billion, right?
Billion. B and a billion. And we keep trying to do more. We keep trying to think of more ways to raise money. The most recent thing we did was add Powerball to our game lineup. And there are probably some signs out here for Powerball. We've actually had 2 big jackpot winners on Powerball in Ohio since April 16th when we started the game. And that's kind of unbelievable that the state of Ohio has had 2 of those winners already.
Ball and 2 strikes to Kearns with 1 out. The pitch is outside for a ball, 2-2. But we want to talk about the Lottery Profits Education Fund and the Partners in Education program. But let's mention first that there are some fans here at the ball game tonight who submitted $1 non-winning Ohio Lottery tickets in a promotional drawing, right? There's a lot of people like that here tonight.
They did that at some of the minor league parks, and the one, as a result, they won tickets to be here at tonight's game. So one of the things we try to do is reward our players in ways other than the prizes. They can do things with their non-winning tickets, so we have those kind of promotions available for them from time to time. So
there's strike 3 call, and Kearns disagrees as he turns and walks back to the third base dugout. 2 men out for Russell Branyan.
And you're also awarding, I mean, you recognize special students that have, I guess, certain types of grades. I imagine that they would be very good. And also the teachers for the quality of work that they do.
The teachers, I think we all recognize that teachers probably don't get paid as much as we'd like them to be paid for what they do, because without them, and they don't get enough credit for what they do as well. So we try to do some to make up for that by recognizing teachers and students. And we do that once a month, every month throughout the year. And it takes place all over Ohio. And at the end of the year, I think it's this year is going to be in the fall, we'll wrap up with a School of the Year, because the schools get nominated as well. And, it's just part of the way that we can recognize the great things that are going on in Ohio schools, which they don't get enough credit. When you see a student like we saw tonight who's, just got a fabulous education. And
is valedictorian?
He was valedictorian. He's an athlete. He's in a tournament this weekend here, baseball tournament. And so, he's just an all-around student. And that's what we look for. That's what we like to honor. Teacher, the same thing. We like to honor outstanding teachers who go sort of the extra mile for their students. So that's our Partners in Education program, where we try to, extend the recognition. And like I said, we also try to think of new ways all the time that we can promote our games.
3 balls and a strike now to Russell Branyan with 2 men out here in the top of the 5th. The Indians lead this game 3-1. Kathy Burke, the executive director of the Ohio Lottery, is with us. They are the Ohio Lottery, the sponsor of the Ohio Cup, which is staged between these two teams. Resurrected in 08. It actually began in 09, ended in 06, missed a year. And back in 2008, as Branyan swings and misses, it's 3-2. You have someone with you, Jeannie Roberts, right?
Jeannie Roberts, our communications director. She actually helps with everything we do in terms of our communications, our outreach, putting together things so that we can communicate with people what we do. The Cup is a great thing, and since 2008, the Reds have won the Cup every year. Indians were doing a little better back when the original Cup was.
There's a ground ball that took a bad hop over the glove of the shortstop Cabrera into shallow center field. Hustling all the way is Branyan, and he slides into second base. That'll be a bad hop double off the bat of Russell Branyan. Boy, Cabrera looked to be right in position to field that ball. Took a hop over his leather and into shallow center. Nix came charging in and slid to get that ball, but Branyan, keeping his head up, hustled all the way and ends up with a 2-base hit. Batter will be Johnny Peralta. Kathy, you mentioned $702 million this year for the Lottery Profits Education Fund, and you said it sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but you think you can surpass that this year?
We're going to do better this year. We're going to have a record sales year. Our year ends June 30th, so middle next week. We expect to have record sales and record profits that are going to be going to education this year. So we're real pleased about that, and happy that we're able to contribute that.
Batter is Peralta, and he takes it low for a ball. Ball 1. You sound like you're enjoying this new position.
I love it. It's just, what could be more fun? And there's a new challenge. There's never a boring day in my job. Never a boring day.
One of the Cowboy says about his job every day.
I love my job.
Every once in a while, I get to give somebody a big check. And what could be better than that? I did that yesterday.
They don't let me do that.
We had a $200,000 winner yesterday. This woman came and we kind of surprised her. She didn't know that she was going to get this check. She showed up because she thought there was a drawing. Well, we already knew who had won. She came and she just cried. She just could not believe it.
Her good fortune.
Good fortune, and she is a kind of a person, I mean, not a wealthy person. She could use the money, and I'm sure she'll put it to good use. So that's a fun part of the job, too.
They have options as to how they take that money, don't they?
They can. They can take it in an annuity where it gets paid out over a period of like 26 years or 29 years, depending on the game. Or they can take the cash value, which is usually, you know, they'll get less on the cash value, but on the other hand, they can invest it themselves and make that money up over time. So, yeah, there's a couple of different options, and, you know, people have to think how they want to do that. Usually they consult with family and friends and figure that out.
1-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and Johnny Peralta strikes out, putting an end to the top of the 5th inning. Kathy, we thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
We thank the Ohio Lottery for its sponsorship of the Ohio Cup with the Reds and the Indians, and hope it continues for many a year, and hope that cup never leaves the Queen City. Going here in the bottom of the 5th inning with a leadoff base hit into left field for Drew Stubbs. Stubbs had ended that 0 for 14 drought last night with that 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. He gets a hit here, and he's aboard. Ramon Hernandez, representing the tying run, comes to the plate here in inning number 5, home half, against the right-hander Justin Masterson, who had retired at one point in this game, 8 in a row. Gives up the hit here to Stubbs. The Reds had but 3 hits. It's their first hit since the 1st inning. He leads away over there, held by Branyan. Masterson delivers, and Hernandez tips it foul for a strike. Strike 1. Hey, Reds fans, how would you like to win 32 Reds tickets and be on TV? Just visit howdoyou32.com and show JTM How You 32. JTM, food, family, and fun. Micah Owings waits on deck. The value of him being a decent hitter means he'll stay into this game. And boy, he's pitched pretty darn well an inning and 2/3.
Well, it helps that he had that inning last night, at least to keep him sharp.
No balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, it's been 10 days, and so he went out there and had a good inning last night. He's looked very good here tonight.
It's amazing, just a little bit of work, how much difference it can make for you on a consecutive day basis, as it does with Owings today. You can see how much sharper he is throwing the baseball.
No balls, 2 strikes to Hernandez. Masterson checks the runner. Stubbs with a lead, and now Hernandez requests and is granted time and steps out.
Well, it must take a lot of money to do education. That's a lot of corn.
$700 million. She said it sounds like a lot, and indeed it is a lot. Masterson to first. Bad throw. Got away from Branyan. Hustling down to second is Stubbs as Branyan goes to get that ball. Just from up here, that did not look like that bad a throw.
That's Branyan's fault. He tried to tag before the ball got there, and you can't do that. You got to catch the ball first, and then you tag. That was a bad effort by Branyan.
I believe they just announced E1.
I don't think they saw that on the replay.
That throw was knee high right there, wasn't it?
Right on the money.
That may end up being changed later, but for now, Masterson charged with the error. Runner in scoring position. There's a shot to first, caught by Branyan. He goes up the ladder, takes a hit, and more likely than not, with Stubbs running, an RBI array from the Reds catcher, and that's the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. Well, if he made a mistake and didn't catch that pickoff throw, he made a very nice play there, going way up to rob Hernandez of extra bases. And more likely than not, as I said, an RBI. Hernandez nothing out of 2.
Well, he hit that thing right on the money.
Batter now is Micah Owings. Batting out of the pitcher's spot. He's hitting 167 on the year, and he hits this ball hard and up the middle. That's a base hit into center. Stubbs scoots home. Throw is cut off. 1-run game. Indians 3, and now the Reds 2, as Micah Owings comes up with his 3rd run batted into the season as he gets hit number 3. One of those is a home run. Nice to have him pitching the way he is and hitting like that.
That is the benefit of having Micah Owings out of your bullpen, especially when you're playing American League club, because they have no idea that he has the type of talent at the plate that he does. Masterson just threw him a fastball right down the middle, and I mean, that's a guaranteed RBI. He's lucky he didn't hit it out.
The Reds have doubled their hit total in this inning. Came into the frame with 2. They now have 4. They're down by a run with Phillips at the dish. This pitch to him is low for a ball. Ball 1. Looking to go to the score, somewhere around baseball, courtesy of Montgomery Inn. All-you-can-eat ribs are back. Friday, July the 2nd through Monday, July the 5th. All-you-can-eat ribs for just $19.95. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend at Montgomery Inn. Phillips takes it low, and it's 2-0. Earlier today, Baltimore won with a run on the bottom of the 7th, 6-5 against the Washington Nationals. Toronto led 5-0 early, win 5-1 at home, actually in Philadelphia, over the Phillies. That game played in Philly, but Toronto is the home team due to the G20 summit going on up in Toronto. That series is a Toronto home series, but being played in Philly. Tampa Bay bounces back with a 5-3 win today over Arizona. No hit last night by Edwin Jackson, and I'll correct what I said last night. I said Jackson's no-hitter was the 5th of the year. It was actually the 4th of the year. Tampa Bay won that game 5-3 behind the 11th win for David Price. Texas a 7-2 winner at home over the Houston Astros. The Cardinals won 5-3 at Kansas City. Phillips on a 3-1 delivery, takes it high. The ball 4. 3 of the 4 hitters for the Reds have reached base in this inning. Owings down to second. He's the tying run, and the go-ahead run now at first with only 1 out for Cabrera.
And this is where, for a young pitcher like Masterson, it would really benefit him to have a veteran catcher to come out and say, look, your stuff has been absolutely phenomenal. Let's go back to what we were doing in the beginning of the ball game, getting ahead in the count, and getting the breaking ball over the plate. You don't have to do anything special here. But right now, he's trying to make pitches way better than what he has to, and he's outside of the strike zone. He's getting himself in trouble.
Cabrera comes up there. He's nothing out of 2. Reached on a fielder's choice. Scored the first Reds run back in the first inning. He shows bunt, pulls back, takes a ball. Ball 1. White Sox and the Cubs, a day after that eruption in the Cubs dugout led to the suspension indefinitely of Carlos Zambrano, are tied 1-1 in the 6th inning. Tonight, Colorado and the Angels, Pittsburgh and Oakland. 1-0 pitch. All out of the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Final early today at Milwaukee. Seattle wins 5-4 over the Brewers. Now time is called, and here comes Tim Belcher, pitching coach of the Indians, out of the third base dugout to go talk with his 25-year-old righty, Justin Masterson. Atlanta hangs on to win 4-3 at home over the Detroit Tigers. They're now 13 games over.
They just barely hung on to that one. Moreland, I think, was closing that ball game.
He did indeed get the save. Detroit scored 2 times in the 9th, but Atlanta won it 4-3. Minnesota blinks the Mets in New York, 6-0 the final score in that game. Dodgers and the Yankees out in L.A. Yankees won yesterday to defeat their old manager Joe Torre. Today, 5-4 Dodgers in the 4th inning out in L.A. After 5 at San Francisco, Boston leading 4-1 over the Giants. And in the one National League game after 5 at Florida, San Diego 2 and the Marlins 1. Well, that's another scores courtesy of Montgomery Inn. Wild pitch as this one goes off the glove of Santana and back to the screen, and that does the job of what Cabrera was thinking of earlier, bunting. It moves the runners along.
Boy, it's almost as though Justin Masterson has just flat out lost it. I mean, he had no hit stuff for a while there, and now that was a fastball that he threw in the left-handed hitter's batter's box. Santana barely got the mid on the baseball.
The count is 3-0. Infield moves in. The pitch way outside. Ball 4. As you said, Cowboy, you're talking about a guy really losing in a hurry. That's what we've witnessed right here. 5 batters.
I mean, he's at a point right now where all he really had to do was just finish up this inning, and he was in line for a victory. And he had quieted the Reds so much that all of the momentum was in the Indians' favor, and now he has just fell apart, and now he's got to face the heart of the Reds order with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Well, here's Joey Votto. He's 0 for 2. He's up there with the bases loaded, 1 out the pitch, and he rips one foul into the stands right behind the tarpaulin roll on the first base side. What a spot for him, not only to give the Reds maybe the lead with a base hit, but continue that consecutive on-base streak, which sits at 33, the longest by a Reds player since Dante Bichette reached base in 33 straight in 2000. Chopper to first. Brandon on a big hop will get it. Taken to the bag. Votto is out, but the run does score from third. That's Owings. And this is a 3-3 game here in the bottom of the 5th. Credit Votto with a run batted in. Well, that high hop is what did it for the Reds right there. Everybody moves up. Owings scores. 2-run inning for the Reds. Go-ahead run. Phillips is now over at third. Cabrera down to second. Here's Scott Rowland.
This is the thing about it. You may get Votto, but he still gets an RBI, and you still have to face Rowland.
Rowland takes strike 1. Into this game at 303 with 48 RBIs. He's picked up 1 in this game, so he's sitting now at 49.
This would be a good time for 300.
Wouldn't that be something? Here's the 0-1. He swings and rips it toward left field. That ball is going to be playable for the left fielder. Kearns over there to get it right at the edge of the track. Rowland gave it a bid, but it comes up shy and ends the inning. But the Reds get a pair on 2 hits and an error and leave 2. But through 5, new game. We're tied 3-3 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Visit the official online shop of the Reds at Reds.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear straight from the source. Shop the Reds.com shop today. Along with Jeff Brandley, Jim Kelch here at Great American Ballpark. 3-3 the score after 5. We're into the top of the 6th inning. Sam McCure now off the hook. His final line, 3 runs, 6 hits in 3 1/3. He walked 4, struck out 2. Easily his worst start in the 6th that he has made. But the pitching of Micah Owings and that 2-run bottom of the 5th means he will not be involved in the decision for the first time in the starts that he has made with the Reds since coming up at the end of May, replacing Homer Bailey in the rotation. So now it's Owings' game.
How about Micah Owings, the job that he has done tonight, not only to come out and bail LeCure out of that inning with the double play, but then to come out and shut the door.
He's looked good through an inning and 2/3. He struck out all 3 batters that were retired in the 5th. He gave up that bad hop double to Brandon, or he wouldn't have had to face Peralta in that inning.
And he got a hit with an RBI.
Both pitchers now working in this game. Owings of the Reds and Masterson of the Indians have a hit in this game. It's the first hit of the year by Indians pitchers. Not surprising considering they don't bat that much. 2-0 on the way. Right in there a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. This is Jason Nix at the plate. Lance told me before the game that this is the first time at the major league level that the brothers have played against one another in a game. They've done it in the minor leagues, but never at the big league level. In terms of starting, they both played in the game last night, both as pinch hitters.
Well, what was so weird is on the first at bat by Jason Nix for the Indians, he hits a line drive into left field, and Lance Nix, his brother, robs him of a base hit.
Yeah, that and the ball by Kearns are the 2 best defensive plays of the night, aren't they? Owings has fallen behind 3-1 and now loses Jason Nix, the leadoff man, here in the 6th inning with a free pass, his first, the 5th given up by Reds pitching in this game, and the batter will be Anderson Hernandez. Fans, it's time for Ask Marty. You can ask the Hall of Famer to give his thoughts on any subject, baseball or non-baseball. Presented by CBTS. Today's question comes from Michael in Cincinnati. With the absence of the Hall of Famer this weekend, we go to the Cowboy for his deep thoughts. Michael wants to know this, Cowboy. If you could choose one non-baseball person to call a game with, who would it be?
Well, that for me would be pretty easy. It would be my dad.
All right.
If he was still alive. He has no idea that I'm here. He passed away when I was working for ESPN. Never had any idea that I would ever get back to work for the Reds, which was our favorite team when I was growing up. We used to sit in the driveway and listen to Marty and Joe when I was 11 years old, when they first started working together, and all throughout my high school years. And you had to drive back and forth in the driveway in order to keep the signal on the radio. You couldn't sit inside because it wouldn't hold up. There was a Spanish station, I think, coming out of Cuba at the time that had 700, so it wouldn't hold. So you had to sit in the driveway and move the car backwards and forwards. So that was actually my first time not only to get to drive a car, but listen to my favorite big league team all through that time. So it'd be kind of cool if my dad was still here and be able to sit in the saddle with me and do a ball game.
1-2 to Anderson Hernandez with a runner on, nobody out here in the 6th inning. How did he know of your love for one day when you were finished playing in the broadcasting?
Oh yeah. Well, both he and my mom. I mean, I never really thought that I was going to be a baseball player. I always thought I was going to be an announcer, because when I was younger, I would pretend I was announcing ball games by throwing the tennis ball or a baseball in the beginning up against the house and made out little lineups, and I would call the game.
You were the man on the game of the week right there. You were Kurt Gowdy.
Yeah, I was calling the game, pretending I was Mel Allen, and doing all of the ball games and announcing the game. But after the brick started to break on the house.
So you're supposed to use a tennis ball.
Well, that's what my dad said quite abruptly.
That's a good one. That's a good one right there. Marty probably say Elvis, huh? You think Marty'd say Elvis?
He might. That's right. I'd say Elvis.
Here's a tip foul by Hernandez at the plate. Anderson Hernandez, the shortstop tonight of the Tribe. He's at 2-2.
I think we've got Andrusic and Herrera warming up down in the Reds bullpen. As a matter of fact, we do.
Lefty-righty combo down in the Reds pen beyond the left center field wall.
It looks like they are both ready to go if needed.
You'd like to suggest a topic for Ask Marty, send it via email to redsonradio@reds.com. Now to hear some of the best of Ask Marty, go to reds.com/radio. Ball line to right, stay up for Bruce. He slides and he makes the catch.
My goodness.
Nicely done by Jay Bruce, who came on and took a hit away from Anderson Hernandez. And he gets the parade of Bruce's as he goes back to his position out in right.
I didn't think he had a chance to catch the baseball. As he came on, I was thinking to myself he was going to be lucky to be able to keep it in front of him. And if he didn't get such a good jump and such a good leap for the ball, that's the toughest play for any outfielder to make, is to come straight on and dive straight forward at the baseball. What a play.
Every time he does that, it reminds you of that game in New York at the All-Star break last year, doesn't it?
Incredible.
Here's a strike on a bunt attempt by the pitcher Masterson, and then a quick throw to first with Phillips getting in behind the runner Nix. Did a good job to keep that ball from going down the right field line.
Well, that's pretty much a guaranteed play by the Reds. Whenever there's a bunt on, if the pitcher or the individual at the plate that is bunting, if he bunts through the ball to the catcher is going to throw behind the runner immediately. And the Reds have gotten about 3 or 4 different picks that play.
We'll have another Ask Marty tomorrow, and we thank the folks at CBTS, the Cincinnati Bell Company, Technology Solutions for Business. Masterson bunts the ball fair, throw to second, not in time, throw to first, out there. Hernandez picked that ball up right in front of the plate. Problem is, Jason Nix got a great break off first. Hernandez threw down to second base, and Cabrera, but the safe call made there, but luckily they get the out at first, so that'll go 2-6-4, and the out at first base.
Well, the Indians are lucky that they've got someone that's alert on the base pass, because normally with a ball bunted that way, the runner would hesitate even for a split second, and that would have been a double play. But Nix never hesitated on the bunt, never even tried to question whether the ball was going to be fair or foul. He just assumed it was fair and hustling down to second all the way.
Now the go-ahead run, Nix in scoring position with 2 out. Masterson will be credited with a sacrifice.
And I think the situation here is to try to find out exactly who do you want to face in this situation. Do you want to face Chu, or do you want to face Trevor Crow?
Crow, the scheduled hitter, the switch hitter, 0 for 2 with a walk. Chu, a left-handed hitter, 0 for 1 with a pair of walks, and it was Chu who was induced into the double play ball.
How about that?
By Owings, his first batter faced. And now Brian Price had gone to the mound, and for the 3rd or 4th time this year, we see Brian Price make the pitching change, and Owings will leave the game, and the Reds will bring on the diminutive lefty Daniel Ray Herrera to face Trevor Crow, which means they'll turn him around, and he will bat from the right side. So Owings out, Herrera in. Pitching change made by Brian Price here at the ballpark. 3-3 in the 6th. Back with more in a moment.
2 outs in the inning. Daniel Ray Herrera will come on to face Trevor Crow, the leadoff hitter, a 3.92 earned run average for Herrera. This will be his 34th ball game. And you see the numbers. 0-3 on the year.
Herrera gets Crow, who is hitting .262 from the right side, .252 from the left side. Bats from the right side for the first time in this series. He's 0 for 2 with a walk in the game. They're going 1 for 4 last night. Go-ahead run out at second base is Nix with 2 out. Game tied 3-3, 6th inning. Herrera delivers and it misses inside to Crow for a ball. Ball 1.
This is a very big out for the Reds right here. You do not want to have Chu coming up to the plate facing either Herrera or Andrusic.
Crow, the center fielder of the Indians, took over for Grady Sizemore, who's out for the year. There's a ball. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Take a look at the numbers this year for Daniel Ray Herrera in terms of versus lefties versus righties. Against lefties, they're hitting .333 against him. Against righties, .333. Here's a 2-0 strike on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Herrera has had a difficult time getting left-handers out early in the season, and was actually getting right-handers out better at that part of time.
Here's the 2-1. Off speed hit on the ground to third. Handled by Rowland. Throw across in time. Herrera gets his man here in the top of the 6th inning. Crow gone and so are the Tribe. They leave their 7th runner of the game. Middle of the 6th now. We're tied at 3 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Justin Masterson back to the mound. He's sitting at 75 pitches, but well, he looks like he is worn out there, doesn't he?
He really does. He took the mound, could hardly bend over to pick up the baseball, and the first 2 pitches are out of the strike zone, and that's how he started the 5th, and things just get worse.
He had a 1, 2, 3 second and third, and a 4-batter 4th. The 5th was not kind to him. There's a slow tapper third base side. This is going to be an infield hit for Jay Bruce. He's aboard, and that's the go-ahead run on to start the bottom of the 6th inning.
When you get that much fatigue going on, you start to make mental errors, and that was a mental error by the pitcher, Masterson. He had no play on Jay Bruce. He should have let Peralta field the baseball. Peralta would have at least been able to make a throw. I don't know if they could have gotten him, but as a pitcher, you just got to get out of the way.
Jay extends his hitting streak now. That infield hit to 6 games. Equals his longest of the year. In fact, it's the 3rd time he's had a 6-game streak this year. He carries the go-ahead run at first. Here's Nix. Hammers it hard, but foul. Pass first base for strike 1. Jay Bruce came into this game with 5 consecutive hits. 5 for his last 5. 7 for his last 8. And had been on base 7 straight plate appearances and 9 of his last 10. That's how hot he's been.
Well, his position at first base here may create the hole for Nix on that side. Nix has hit the ball that way twice.
Big cut and a miss. He's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Remember, Nix had that big series in the first 2 games up at Cleveland. He went 6 for 9 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. In the first 2 games of that series, he was smoking hot. He takes one in the dirt. It bounces away to the third base side, and down to second goes Bruce in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, that is a tough break for Masterson, and you can see the youth in Carlos Santana behind the plate. His defensive skills not quite have caught up with the offensive skills, and couldn't quite get that ball blocked in front of home plate, and it allows Bruce to move down into scoring position.
Reds have action now in their pen. Arthur Rhodes, the left-hander, up and throwing. Nix lines one over the head of the shortstop and into left center. That's a base hit. Here comes Bruce. He'll score standing up, and the Reds, who trailed 3-1, now lead at 4-3 here in the bottom of the 6th as Lance Nix comes up with his 12th run batted into the year, and he smoked that ball over the head of the shortstop Hernandez.
That is now the 7th base hit for Lance Nix in this series and his 6th RBI.
Batter will be Drew Stubbs. Reds trailed 1-0, tied it at 1, fell behind in the 4th, 3-1. Scored 2 at the bottom of the 5th to tie this game. Now have taken their first lead of the evening at 4-3. A big hit by Lance Nix.
And when I say series, I'm talking about the Ohio Cup series, the whole 6 shebang.
He's in line possibly to be the most outstanding player of the series, the MOP.
He really is.
Stubbs up there, and he quickly gets ahead 2-0.
Jay Bruce is in that same bunch.
Indians have action in their bullpen. In fact, both pens are busy at 3-0. That one way outside. And they're 2-0. Now it's 3 balls and no strikes. Frank Herman is up and throwing in the bullpen. There's a strike. It's 3-1. Next one, Stubbs swings, lifts it foul, and out of play down the right field line. Full count. 87 pitches now by Masterson in this game.
You can really see Stubbs continuing to try to drive that ball the other way. Hit that home run last night. It looked like it was put on a tee for him to hit the ball out there.
At 3-2, Masterson misses high for ball 4. He walks his 4th of the game. That sends Nix down to second base. All 3 Reds hitters have reached in this inning. Time is called.
That's it.
Here comes Manny Acta out of the dugout. The slow stroll out of the third base dugout to the mound.
Acta pointed to the Reds bullpen. He wants one of our guys.
He wants Arthur Rhodes, and I don't blame him, do you? Masterson out of gas here in the 6th inning. He'll go 5 innings plus. And he stands right now to be the loser if things stay the way they are. Manny takes the baseball. Masterson jogs off. Frank Herman, who had a 1-inning outing here last night, will come on as the new pitcher for the Indians. We'll be back to tell you about him in a moment.
To June 19th, but now over his last 3 appearances, which was 3 1/3 innings pitch, he's allowed a run each time,
including in last night's game. He gave up a run and 2 hits in 1 inning's worth of work, and he comes on here to replace Justin Masterson, who goes 5 innings plus 3 batters, 4 runs thus far, 6 hits, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 2 wild pitches. Hernandez up there showing bunt, does bunt back to the mound. Herman gets it, throws low to first, but Jason Nix digs it out. Sacrifice bunt goes 1-4, executed by Hernandez. And the runners move to second and third with 1 out.
Ramon Hernandez can flat out handle the baseball bat. Every time they've asked him to bunt, he's been able to put the bunt down in perfect order. When they've asked him to hit and run, he's been able to hit the ball on the ground the other way. Really handles the bat well. You couldn't have thrown that out there with your hand any better than how he bunted that ball there.
Now the Reds will go to the bench, and Miguel Cairo will come on to pinch hit for Daniel Ray Herrera. And so Daniel Ray faced 1 batter. Crow is able to retire him. He right now stands as the pitcher of record in this game. Arthur Rhodes has been throwing in the bullpen.
That was a big out to get.
Sure was, wasn't it? He turned Crow around. He hit from the right side, and he grounded out to third. And now it's Miguel Cairo hitting .279 overall with a couple of home runs and 9 RBIs. 2 for 18 for Cairo as a pinch hitter.
When you've got a night like tonight where it's muggy and hot and everybody just seems like they're on their last breath of air, momentum is everything.
Indians bring the infield in. The pitch rides in on Cairo. He tried to check his swing and get the bat out of the way. Was unsuccessful in doing so. And then the foul ball, it caught the catcher Santana, who gets up and tries to walk it off back there. Strike 1.
Ball looked like it fouled off the bat and then onto the left knee shin guard of Santana.
Cairo trying to get the job done.
Well, they are playing the infield tight, are the Indians. They want to cut that run down at home plate.
Reds buy a run at 4-3. Cairo swings and lifts one toward right field. Chu is in position, comes on, makes the catch. Runner tags, throw coming home. That ball is not in time, and the run scores. Cross chasing the plate for the Reds. Tagging from third was Nix. And the Reds have a 2-run lead now at 5-3 here in the bottom of the sixth. Chu got himself a pretty good throwing position. Again, Santana was out in front of the plate, had to reach back for the tag. And I don't blame him not wanting to get in the way of Lance Nix, though.
Well, he did the same thing in last night's ball game, and it cost him a run. In this situation, it probably saved him his life. Had he caught that ball sitting on home plate, Nix would have killed him. And instead of trying to make the tag and block the plate, he actually moved out of the way. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen a catcher move out of the way and try not to get, instead of catching the ball and tagging him, he just moved out of the way to try not to get hurt. And he had the ball.
It's a 5-3 Reds lead now with Brandon Phillips coming up. Take a quick look at our Geico scoreboard stumper. In the time it takes to wait in line at the concession stand, you could get a quote from Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Tonight's scoreboard stumper in Major League history, 4 pitchers have struck out 20 or more batters in a game. Who are they? Major League history, 4 pitchers have struck out 20 or more batters in a game. Who are they? Tonight's Geico scoreboard stumper. Here's Phillips, runner at third, 2 out. Swing, base hit into center. Big 2-out pick-me-up hit right there for Brandon Phillips. His second hit of the night, RBI 25. And the Reds have scored 3 times here in the bottom of the sixth and now lead at 6-3.
It's amazing, Jim, how the Reds just keep on putting hits together with runners in scoring position, and then they get down to the spot that it is the most difficult to get a base hit with runners in scoring position, and that's with 2 outs, and Phillips comes through again.
That closes the book as Phillips takes off on the first pitch to Cabrera. The pitch, a ball. Head first slide to second by Phillips, but he is out. Throw taken by Hernandez. It's a 2-6 caught stealing. Phillips gone, and so are the Reds, but they come up with 3 runs in the bottom of the inning. They once trailed 3-1, and now, after 6, with the Cowboy coming back with the play-by-play when we return in the 7th, it's the Reds 6 and the Indians 3 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Game scoreless streak as he comes into the ball game. If he can put a scoreless inning together here, or a scoreless appearance, I should say, here, he will have tied the major league record, which is 33 games. So he is 1 game away. So the left-hander Arthur Rhodes comes on. We are in the top of the 7th inning. The Reds on top of the Indians 6-3. Reds have scored 5 runs in the last 2 innings. 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and they have brought the hammers from the baseball side of the diamond. Offensively, they have come in a hurry. So Rhodes in the ball game to face Chu. First pitch is a fastball inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Shin-Soo Choo, Carlos Santana, switch hitter, and then Austin Kearns. Those are the 3 batters due here in the 7th. Rhodes fastball down and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Chu. Chu has walked and scored. He was the first run across in the ball game tonight, and he hit into a 4-6-3 double play. This ball popped up to the left side of the infield. Is it going to come back for Roland? No, it will not. It'll stay foul. 2 balls and a strike now to Shin-Soo Choo. Both teams, Indians and the Reds, scored a single spot in the first. The Indians took the lead in the 5th inning, or the top of the 4th inning, excuse me, with a couple of runs of their own to make it 3-1, and the Reds have put the hammer down here in the last 2. This ball fouled off to the left side and out of play. 6th inning, the Reds, or 5th inning, Reds come up with 2. 6 innings, the Reds come up with 3. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the left-handed hitting right fielder for the Indians, Shin-Soo Choo. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, and the count will go full. Left-hander Arthur Rhodes on. Starting the ball game for the Reds was Sam LeCure, and he had a tough go of it early. Micah Owings replaced him. Owings with a phenomenal job both on the mound and at the plate. And a great job by Daniel Ray Herrera tonight. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And down goes Chu on a slider, down and away. 1 down. As part of its extra effort program, Ohio Casualty Insurance, members of the Liberty Mutual Group, will make a donation to the Cincinnati chapter of the American Red Cross each time the Reds hit a double or a triple. It's the extra effort program from Ohio Casualty Insurance and their independent agents. 1 down here in the top of the 7th. Arthur Rhodes, the left-hander, on. Here's Carlos Santana. It'll be the first time we've seen the young catcher from the right side. Rhodes rocks and deals. Fastball just misses inside. Santana has swung the bat quite well from the left side. Rhodes out of the stretch, picks the leg up. Here he comes. Fastball up and away. 2 balls and no strikes to the switch hitting catcher Carlos Santana. Rhodes working with Hernandez behind the plate. The veteran kicks and deals. Pulled foul off the far end of the third base dugout, and Santana spinning on that one. Well, you can see why the Indians were in a hurry to get this guy to the big leagues. He can flat swing the bat from both sides. He does not get cheated. But he does have a ways to go on the tools behind the plate. A breaking ball down in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike.
And he's a musician as well.
Is he really?
I mean, isn't he Carlos Santana? Isn't it the same guy?
You got me. That was good.
I like that.
Three balls and a strike. Here comes Rhodes. And he walked him. Fastball misses just inside and down to first base. Goes the switch hitting catcher Carlos Santana, and that'll bring Austin Kearns to the plate. Kearns grounded out to Roland in the first inning. He singled back in the third, and he struck out looking in the fifth, and he was none too happy about that one. He'll face Arthur Rhodes here, with his club trailing by 3. It is 6-3, Reds on top. Rhodes, here he comes. Fastball down low, 1 ball, no strikes. It has been one of those nights on both sides of the diamond. Nothing has gone as planned. Rhodes checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Fastball away. 2 balls and no strikes. And out to the mound comes Hernandez. And Arthur Rhodes holds up both hands and tried to shoo him away. Rhodes was 2-0 on Shin-Soo Choo, the leadoff batter. Came back and struck him out. 2-0 on Santana, the catcher, who stands at first base now and could not get him. Ended up walking him, and now here he is, 2-0 to Kearns.
Has a 0 on the board in this inning, Cowboy, and he'll tie Ted Abernathy for 30 straight consecutive scoreless. Back in late August at 67.
Here's the pitch. Fly ball off to the right side, now to play.
Ted Abernathy, as I recall, was a submariner, wasn't he? You remember him?
Do not.
Yeah. Boys behind us agree.
He'll also tie the major league record for scoreless appearances. I think that's a good one. That would settle it pretty good for me. Fastball on the inside corner, strike 2. One out in the inning. Santana reached on the walk after the meeting with Hernandez at the mound. He's pumped 2 strikes in there, has Rhodes. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it misses inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. We have had many a 3-ball, 2-strike count tonight. And it is hot, it is humid, muggy, and a capacity crowd here at Great American Ballpark. 3-2 pitch, line drive left field. Nix has got it. Came off the bat well, but it looked like it had some topspin to it, and that baby went right into the glove of Lance Nix. Back to first base goes Santana, 2 down. He hit that one right on the nose. So Branyan normally would be batting in this situation. They will take down Russell Branyan and replace him with Shelley Duncan. Duncan hits from the right side. We saw him hit in last night's ball game. First pitch swinging, fly ball center field. Stubbs stands there waiting on it. And he got him. Arthur Rhodes puts down the Cleveland Indians. He did walk Santana, but he erases the other. Reds on top as we head to the bottom of 7, 6-3 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. bottom of the 7th inning. Reds on top of the inning. Indians here in game 2 of this 3-game series, the last of the Ohio Cup. Reds on top 6-3. Reds fans, Western and Southern Financial Group wants to make you an honorary captain for a game with their triple play giveaway. Throughout the season, Western and Southern is giving away great Reds prizes, and you can be the honorary captain for the July 20th game against the Washington Nationals. Just visit WSLife.com/Reds to enter. And speaking of slash, there's a hit right up the middle. A line drive off the bat of Orlando Cabrera on the first pitch he sees here in the 7th. So Cabrera aboard to start things for the Reds. They've got a 3-run lead. And here's Joey Votto. Votto hitless on the night. Left-hander stands in. Fastball, swing and a miss. 93-mile-an-hour heater from Frank Herman, about belt high, and Votto swings right underneath it. Herman looks into Santana. Cabrera takes his lead. The pitch off the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Votto still looking to reach base, keep that streak alive. Misses up and away, does Herman. 2 balls and 1 strike. 33 consecutive ball games for the left-handed hitting Votto where he has reached base. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Herman with a long look in. He'll check Cabrera at first base. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside corner, strike 2. And Votto didn't like that one, and can't say I blame him.
There's a borderline pitch that went the way of Herman.
And Votto taking his time getting back into the box. Boy, he has got a stern look on his face. Here's the pitch. Just a bit inside, and he jumps back, does Joey Votto, and that'll run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Indians playing at double play depth in the infield with Nix and Hernandez. Nobody out. Cabrera at first base with a leadoff single. 3-2 pitch coming to Votto. Here it is. And he walked him. 34 games now for Joey Votto that he has reached base. Continues to drive that on-base percentage skyward. 409 coming into the ball game, and he's on here for the 34th consecutive game. That ain't bad.
Last player to do that for the Reds was Dave Collins when he reached base in 34 straight back in 1981.
Got a couple of guys on this Reds club with Votto and his consecutive game streak where he's reached base, and also Arthur Rhodes, who is looking at his 33rd consecutive ball game without giving up a run. But as of right now, he is still in the ball game. Scott Rowland stands at the plate. First 2 batters have reached off of Herman. Pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Herman with a 94-mile-an-hour heater, just missing off the outside corner. Roman is 1 for 2 on the night. Singled with an RBI back in the first, walked in the 4th, and flied out in the 5th. Fastball upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Boy, this Reds offense just continues to come at you. Continues to put the pressure on the opposition. Frank Herman comes to the set. Here's the 2-0 to roll, and it's fouled off to the right side, now to play. Herman challenged him there with a fastball, a 93-mile-an-hour heater right down Broadway, and Roland was just a bit late.
Cowboy lefty Rafael Perez throwing in the Tribe pen.
I imagine that he is getting ready for the on-deck hitter, Bruce, and maybe Nix after that. This may be Herman's last batter as he fakes a pickoff move back to second base to hold Cabrera closely. At this point, I don't think I'd be worried about those runners. I'd be worried about that guy at the plate. Here's the 2-1. Popped up and behind home plate, out of play. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Roland. Votto standing at first base. Cabrera at second. Reds trying to add to a 6-3 lead. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning. Right-hander deals. Roland fouls it off. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Looked like it was a bit high, but Roland taking no chances with 2 strikes. Just popped the bat out there quickly and fouled it off. 1 in the first for the Reds, 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. For the Indians, 1 in the first, 2 in the 4th. Here's the pitch. Line drive into left field. Here comes Kearns. He's going to make the catch. Throws back in the second. Cabrera back in safely. And that'll be the first out here in the 7th for the Reds. Scott Rowland sitting on home run, career home run, 299. So anything and everything that he hits that looks like it's headed towards the wall seems like it's going to be the one. But that one just came up a bit short, as did one earlier in the ball game. Maniac down to the mound. Looks like we'll have a new pitcher for the Indians, so we'll take a break here on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Strikeouts and 12 walks. So left-hander comes on to see what he can do against Jay Bruce from the left side, and possibly Lance Nix or a pinch hitter if Nix is taken down for Heisey or one of the other right-handed hitters from the Reds dugout. Runners at first and second base for the Reds. They lead 6-3. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning here at Great American Ballpark. And we got a packed house here. Fastball outside corner, strike one from the left-hander Perez. Cabrera stands at second. Votto's at first base. Only out in the inning coming from a line drive by Scott Rowland into left field. Perez looks into Santana for the sign. He checks the runner at first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball down and away, and Bruce swings right over the top of it, and it looked as though Santana and the shortstop Henderson Hernandez had a play on to throw down to second base after the swing and a miss, but the ball was bobbled by Santana, so the play went awry. No balls and 2 strikes. Rafael Perez. Here he comes. Breaking ball misses up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes to left-handed hitting Jay Bruce. Bruce started the 3-run inning in the 6th with a single into left field. He came around to score, as did Nix and Stubbs after him. Perez with a 1-2 pitch, and he fakes back to second as Cabrera continues to dance around at second base. Cabrera trying to take Perez's mind off the batter Bruce, see if he can hang him a breaking ball in there, and Bruce hit that baby out of here. Here's the pitch, and it's outside. Bruce tried to check his swing, and he could not. Rung out by the third base umpire, Brian Gorman, the crew chief. And that's the second out of the inning. 2 down. Good breaking ball started on the plate and broke sharply down and away. Bruce tried to stop his swing. He could not. And now with 2 outs and runners at first and second, here's Lance Nix, the last go-round for the Reds right here in this inning. Breaking ball outside corner, strike one. Cabrera started the inning with a sharp single into center field on the first pitch from Frank Herman. Herman then walked Joey Votto. He got rolling on a line drive out into left field. Perez comes on to strike out Bruce for the second out. And now here we are, 0-1 to Nix. Perez rocks and deals. 1 hopper to the shortstop Hernandez. He'll throw on to first, and they got him. So a good job by Perez. He retires both the left-handers he faces, but the Reds still hold on to the lead 6-3 as we head to the 8th on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. So the right-hander Massett is on the mound, and back with a play-by-play. Here's Jim Kelch.
Thank you, Cowboy. Arthur Rhodes has been nothing short of spectacular in 2010 at 40 years old. It's amazing.
It really is.
We think the same thing, I think.
It's just unheard of.
Well, Nick Massett will come on to try to hang another 0 on the board here in the 8th inning. He gets Johnny Peralta to get it going. First pitch from him is a ball 1. Outfield deep and straight away as Massett rocks and brings it. That one a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike.
What a great asset to have on your ball club in Arthur Rhodes. Not only has he been able to do the job at age 40, but he's done the job in the clubhouse as far as leadership, and he's done it on the mound without throwing the ball 97 miles an hour.
Broken bat, ground ball to short by Peralta, picked by Cabrera, on to first in time, and that's the first out here in inning number 8. As we revisit our Geico scoreboard stumper. Tonight's question: in Major League history, 4 pitchers have struck out 20 or more batters in a game. Who are they? Roger Clemens of the Red Sox did it twice. Kerry Wood, when he was with the Cubs back in '98, did it against the Astros. He's now the closer on this Cleveland club. Randy Johnson of the Diamondbacks did it against the Reds on May the 8th, 2001. And Tom Chaney of the Senators, the old Washington Senators, struck out 21 Orioles in 1962, but he did it in 16 innings. How about that?
They probably didn't have pitch counts back in that day.
Our Geico scoreboard stumper. Here's a swing and a ground ball to short by Jason Nix. Cabrera up and over. Out. 2 gone.
You're starting to see the Nick Massett of 2009 creeping out. And he is starting to get that sinker back into the strike zone. He's starting to challenge these right-handed and left-handed hitters in the zone with that good hard sinker and that sharp slider. And before you know it, that ERA is going to start to come back down to where it was last year.
He's a batter away now from having his 4th consecutive perfect outing, meaning he would have retired each of the batters that have come up there to face him. First 2 gone here. The batter Anderson Hernandez. He's the switch hitting shortstop tonight. First pitch to him out of the zone. Ball 1. He's 1 for 3 and a 2-run double back in the 4th inning. His first RBIs since coming up from AAA Columbus. He takes a strike at 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Arthur Rhodes, 1 inning, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Daniel Ray Herrera, 1/3 of an inning. He retired Trevor Crowe, and he's the pitcher of record for the Reds. 1-1 pitch, down and in. 2 balls and a strike.
Pretty good pitch right there. It's also an awfully good job by Herrera in the situation that he was in at the time. The out that he got, it was as big as any out in the game.
That at the time kept the game tied 3-3. 2-1 is over, but low ball 3 to Hernandez. Massett falls behind 3-1. Indians had the go-ahead run. Jason Nix out at second with 2 men out. Herrera came on with the pitching change made by Brian Price. Was able to turn Crowe around and get him. 3-1 fastball inside corner, a strike. That one at 95 from Nick Massett. And a full count with 2 men out and nobody on. Bullpen in its last 9 games coming into tonight a 1.77 ERA. Not a lot of run this evening. Foul ball out of play by Hernandez.
And it is amazing how you see the starting pitchers going deeper into the ballgame. It didn't happen tonight, but it has happened over the last 7-8 ball games, and all of a sudden starters go deeper into the game. Their numbers are better. The bullpen numbers are better.
3-2 pitch and a ball tipped in front of the plate. A fair ball picked up by Hernandez. It's a swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. He picked it up and put the tag on, and Hernandez is out. Anderson Hernandez, as Ramon Hernandez gets the job done behind the plate. And that is indeed a 1-2-3 eighth inning for Nick Massett. We go to the bottom of the eighth. Reds in front 6-3 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. The pitcher on bottom of the eighth is Chris Perez. He follows Rafael Perez, who came on and got the two left-handers. That was Jay Bruce and Lance Nix. Now Drew Stubbs leads things off against the right-handed Perez on this Cleveland club. First pitch of ball. Next one to Drew is a taken strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I like this kid throwing the ball. I think if he gets some regular work, be closer material.
He was the closer earlier before Kerry Wood came back from the DL. He has 6 saves, a 2.67 ERA, and this is 29th game. At 2-1, Stubbs swings and misses, and he's at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think Perez's issue is he just doesn't get enough work in good tight ball games in order to keep himself as sharp as he needs to be. I think his numbers could be even better. Look at that.
Good off-speed pitch, and Stubbs down on strikes for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's pause here for identification on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Along with the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley, Jim Kelch from the ballpark. Great American Ballpark, venue for tonight's game. Second game of this 3-game series. The Reds and the Indians. Reds lead the season series 3-1. Look to secure victory in the series if they can win tonight or tomorrow. Won last night 10-3. Lead tonight 6-3. Batting in the bottom of the 8th with 1 man out. Ramon Hernandez took what he thought was a ball and was called a strike on a check swing by Ted Barrett, the first base umpire. Now a strike called, and it's 0-2. Pitcher's spot is due next, and Johnny Gomes swings a bat near the on-deck circle. And the pitch. Late cut and a swing and a miss, and down he goes on strikes. 2 out. Dear ice cream lovers, this is your big day. Right now at UDF, all Sundays, get a second dip free from classics like UDF's Hot Fudge to your own unique combination of ice cream and topping. You get your second dip free. So Make more of your day with a visit to UDF. Dairy Fresh, Dairy Fun, United Dairy Farmers. Johnny Gomes gets a big hand as he comes out to pinch hit. Let's revisit, Cowboy, our Cincinnati Bell trivia question.
Let's do that.
Game 5 of the 1920 World Series. Indian second baseman Bill Wamsgans turned the first and to date only unassisted triple play in series history. What other notable World Series first took place in the game?
Did you say Wamsgans?
Wamsgans.
Now, see, how do they throw these questions out with names like that?
Kill him.
I said B.
You said B. A player hit 4 triples in a game was A. B. A pitcher recorded 15 strikeouts. C. A player hit a grand slam. You said B. 15 strikeouts. The answer is C. A player hit a grand slam. Gomes swings and misses. 0-2. Indians right fielder Elmer Smith belted a grand slam off the Dodgers' Burley Grimes in the bottom of the first inning. The first bases loaded home run in series history. Later in the game, the Indians' Jim Bagby became the first pitcher that hit a home run in World Series history. The Indians won the game 8-1 and claimed the series in 7 games. Gomes strikes out on 3 pitches, sending this one to the top of the 9th. Going in, Reds in front 6-3 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
700 W.
Massett 1 inning, 1 strikeout. Cordero, the 5th reliever, and the 6th pitcher that has dove the rubber for the Reds tonight.
Relief pitching tonight has been absolutely extraordinary.
Travis Hafner pinch hits for Chris Perez to start off the top of the 9th inning. We have not seen him yet in this series. He's their DH, and he's not getting any action at all.
He's the best hitter they have and doesn't get any playing time, because if he was playing, he would be at first base, and Brandon is swinging as hot a bat as anybody on their club, so you can't take him out of the lineup.
Lefty waits on the 0-1 and takes a strike over the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. After a .249 with 8 homers, 28 runs batted in. He strikes out about 1 every 4 times up. 1 for 5 with an RBI as a pinch hitter this year. Slightly open stance, chokes up on that bat. The 0-2 on the way. He's jammed, fights it off, fouls it out of play. He's in the number 9 spot in the order. Trevor Crowe, featuring the top of the Cleveland batting order, waits on deck.
Pronk. They call him Pronk.
Pronk.
P-R-O-N-K. That's what they call him in Cleveland.
Any idea where that stems?
No, I don't think he wanted to be called Shrek.
Slicer foul over the dugout, third base side.
They actually had a Pronk bar made for him one year he was up there.
He's from North Dakota.
They came up with the Rangers. He was actually in spring training in camp with us in 2001 when I was with the Rangers my last year in the big leagues. He was just as big or bigger than he is now.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. At his feet, he skips out of the way. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cordero appearing for the 38th time. 3 wins, 3 losses. 4.11 ERA. Looking to become the 4th pitcher in the National League this year with 20 saves or more. He has 19 of them. And he delivers it 1 and 2. And a bouncing ball toward the middle to his left. Cabrera gets it and throws. Out at first. 1 out.
Well, that ball had some serious topspin on it. Once it hit the ground, it took off to Cabrera. That's the kind of ball that if you're in close, it'll eat you alive.
Here comes Trevor Crowe. A couple of emails came in earlier we wanted to get to. One from Paul Swan. Paul Swan and Tom Roten received 4 first-place awards last Saturday at the West Virginia Associated Press Awards banquet in Charleston, West Virginia. Tom won first place for Best Interview and Best Public Affairs. Paul won Best Sports Talk Show and Best Sportscaster for the 2nd time in 3 years. Congratulations to Paul and Tom on their awards in West Virginia. Good work, men. Also got an email from Tom Polskamp. He and his wife accompanying their daughter Sherry and her husband Rich back in town for the weekend to the game tonight. Sherry, a native of Anderson Township. Rich is from Sandusky.
That's where Marty lives, is in Anderson Township.
Anderson Township. Wanted to say hello and happy birthday to Tom's son-in-law, Richard Miller, 1st Lieutenant, U.S. Army, Fort Campbell. There's a strike called. 2 balls and 1 strike to Trevor Crowe. I want to thank him and his fellow soldiers for doing such great work over in Iraq. Pleased to have such brave Americans like them to defend our country. Indeed, we
Amen.
Are behind that 100%. Here's a ball lined over the head of Cabrera, out into left center. That's a base hit for Crowe. Stubbs over to cut it off and get that ball back in. Just to put an end to Tom's email, he said they purchased diamond section seats for tonight's game. I think the seats are in row D.
They got it working in there up there close.
You bet.
And in concert.
Tom, thanks for the email. We appreciate it. And the great work of your son-in-law, Richard, 1st Lieutenant, U.S. Army, Fort Campbell.
How do you think my man Marty and his 50th high school reunion is doing right now?
Well, those things are usually 2 to 2.5 day affairs. Today was probably
in bed by now, don't you think? 50th anniversary of their high school reunion. They're probably in bed.
That was Jeff, the Cowboy Brantley, that said that.
What, are you scared?
Just making sure things are qualified.
I got a big dog for you, Jim.
Chu hits a high fly ball to left field. Nix has a beat on it. Step in front of the track. He's there to make the catch for the out. Crowe retreats to first base. Now there are 2 men out. The last hope for the Indians rests on the shoulders of Carlos Santana, who will turn around and hit from the left side. Those reunions, today was probably golf day, right? Don't you guess?
Yeah, they're probably tired. They're probably asleep.
Could be out to dinner tonight. Last night was probably like the big get-together, you know, everybody at a party or a hotel somewhere, renewing old acquaintances.
I wonder how many people was actually in his graduating class.
Dusty Baker asked that same thing yesterday. Wonder how many people are actually there.
Because you never know. Different schools have different amounts.
Out in Virginia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's Santana with a crowd on its feet. 37,757 here at the ballpark tonight. Besting last night's crowd, 32,844. 0-1 delivery. Bounces in there. Gets away from Hernandez. Hits the back wall. Bounces right back to Ramon. Still in the dirt circle at home plate. He tosses that ball aside. Wild pitch charged to Cordero since Crow down to second base, but he's not concerned with Trevor Crow right now. He's got one thing on his mind, doesn't he?
Get Santana.
Carlos Santana, 1 out of 3 with a walk. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Matt Capps of Washington leads the National League with 22 saves. Brian Wilson of the Giants, 21. Heath Bell of the Padres, 20. And Cordero trying to tie him for third. Peers in. Right arm. Hanging free. Now comes to the set. And as he does, Santana steps out. This would be the first AB of Santana's career against the Reds closer. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Inside for a ball. 3-1. You get concerned if Santana reaches because Kern's on deck, very capable as the tying run to hit one out of this ballpark. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch. Ball 4. Misses low and away. That brings Kearns to the plate as the tying run.
Kearns is the one guy that has had a difficult time of late swinging the bat, but we all know he can get it going in a hurry.
Here's the pitch, and Kearns takes it low. Ball 1. Cordero never seems to make it easy on you, does he?
258 hitter with runners in scoring position for Kearns.
He digs in right side tonight. 1 out of 4. The pitch. Strike called at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's a good pitch there by Cordero. It started off the plate and comes right back. Perfect pitch on the outside corner. Split the plate and split the corner in half, but also right at the hollow of the knee, the bottom of the strike zone.
The 1-1 to Kearns is hit into left field. That's a hit. Steve Smith will send the runner to the plate as Nix comes up with a ball in left field and gets it back in. Crow scores. It's 6-4. The Reds lead down to 2. Tying run and Kearns at first base. And Shelley Duncan, who has 1 at bat, a fly ball out to center in this game, comes up there. He represents the go-ahead run.
Looked like a breaking ball from Cordero that stayed up in the strike zone, and Kearns just hits it right into the shortstop hole.
Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss by Duncan. Strike 1. He pinch hit for Brandon in the 7th. That was to face Arthur Rhodes and fly it out. Stayed in the game at first base.
That was a wild swing right there. That ball was over his head, and he swung at it.
And a pinch hit, base hit last night. There's 1 for 2 in the series. Cordero ready. Pitch to the right-hander. Right in there, a strike call. 1-2.
Now here's the deal with Duncan. You don't throw him a breaking ball for a strike. You make him fish for it outside of the strike zone. He can take that slider as he did last night and hit it right in that shortstop hole.
The 0-2 pitch. Fastball off the plate of ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reds by a pair, 6-4. 2 on, 2 out. Top of the 9th inning. Cordero ready. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Appeal. Denied. Says Ted Barrett down at first. And that was borderline right there.
The ball was trying to come back, but it didn't quite make it back to the outside corner. Had the right height on it, but it just didn't quite get back all the way. Now you got to make it happen. Make him swing.
The 2-2. Over but low. Ball 3. He was ahead in the count against this right-handed veteran, Shelley Duncan.
And he moved 2.
Now the count is full. With 2 men out, the runners will be on the move. Santana from second. Kearns from first. And Kearns represents the tying run. There they go. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And the Reds have won 5 in a row and have taken the first 2 games of this 3-game series against the Indians and hang on to the top spot in the National League Central. 1/2 game better than the St. Louis Cardinals. Final score, the Reds 6, the Indians 4. Back with more in a moment.